Fans refuse to let go unseen Chang Wook and Nam Ji-hyun moments that scream soulmates. What if the story fans believed ended years ago never actually ended at all? What if the quiet truth tucked behind their smiles, their glances, their unspoken rhythm, still lingers in the space between them? What if the world has only seen fragments, while the real heart of their connection remained hidden, unfolding in private corners of sets, hallways, rehearsals, and moments the cameras were never meant to capture? This is the story fans refuse to let fade. And tonight, it comes back to life in ways no one expected. Hold on tight, C-Drama family. The world of your favorite celebrities is unfolding before your eyes, and every moment is more breathtaking than the last. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now, because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. Because the unseen moments between Chang Wook and Nam Ji-hyun did not vanish with time. They simply remained in the shadows, waiting for someone brave enough to bring them into the light. The moment that started it all, it began long before Suspicious Partner became a global hit. Before fancams, before edits, before shipping communities began dissecting every glance. It began during a quiet rehearsal day, when Nam Ji-hyun walked into the practice room slightly flustered, carrying a stack of scripts and an apologetic smile. Chang Wook looked up, paused midline, and watched her with an expression that surprised even the staff. Not recognition. Not curiosity. Something gentler. Something warm. Something like instinctive affection. A senior crew member later said it was the first time he saw Wook's demeanor shift so naturally around someone he had barely met. He softened. He relaxed. He leaned in without realizing it. And from that moment onward, the energy between them became unmistakable. What fans never saw beneath the bright lights, their chemistry on screen was undeniable, but what struck the crew most was how natural it remained when the camera stopped rolling. Between takes, they fell into conversations that had nothing to do with the script. They teased each other gently. They matched moods without trying. They mirrored each other's movements without noticing. One assistant director recalled a particularly revealing moment. There was a break during a late-night shoot. Most actors sat in silence, exhausted. But Chang Wook pulled his chair closer to Nam Ji-hyun's, just enough for their shoulders to almost touch. They talked quietly, laughing over something that had nothing to do with work. It was the simplicity of the moment that caught the AD's attention. He described it later as the kind of comfortable closeness that usually takes years to build. Yet for them, it happened almost instantly. The day Wook became protective without even realizing there was a difficult action scene involving slippery ground and harsh lighting. Nam Ji-hyun insisted on doing several takes herself. She moved carefully, but at one point, she stumbled slightly. Before anyone else reacted, Chang Wook was already at her side. His hand steadied her back. His eyes searched her face with genuine concern, not as an actor, not as a colleague performing professionalism, but as someone who cared deeply in a way he never publicly acknowledged. Nam Ji-hyun assured him she was fine, brushing off the incident with her usual resilience, but Wook didn't step away immediately. He lingered for a heartbeat longer than necessary. A cameraman who witnessed the moment said he quietly muttered something to her. He couldn't hear the words, but he recognized the tone. Protective. Intimate. Softened in a way Wook rarely showed to anyone. The secrets hidden in unbroadcasted behind-the-scenes footage. There exists a set of behind-the-scenes clips never released to the public. They were filmed casually, meant to be cleaned up for promotional material, but some never passed approval. A staff member who handled the footage described one scene that made him pause. It showed Chang Wook waiting off to the side as Nam Ji-hyun rehearsed a difficult emotional scene. She finished, exhaled shakily, and stepped away from the spotlight. Before the director could even approach, Wook moved toward her. No cameras were rolling. No audience was watching. He stood in front of her, hands tucked in his pockets, offering nothing more than presence. Then he said something so softly the microphone barely caught it. "You did well. Take a breath." She smiled up at him. A soft, private smile she never gave on cue. A smile that transformed her whole expression. It was the kind of moment that explained everything fans felt but could never fully prove. The wrap party interaction that fueled the soulmate theory at the end of filming, the cast gathered for a wrap celebration. The atmosphere was warm, loud, filled with laughter. But despite the noise, something intimate unfolded in a small corner of the room. Wook and Hyun sat side by side, separated from the crowd. They spoke in low voices. Occasionally, one leaned in to hear the other better. At one point, Wook said something that made Hyun throw her head back, laughing freely. She nudged his shoulder lightly. He nudged hers back. The entire exchange was natural. Effortless. Almost too synchronized. A stylist who attended the party later admitted she had to look away because it felt like watching a moment she wasn't meant to witness. Their chemistry, she said, was not created by drama scripts. It was simply who they were together. The reunion the public never knew about years past. Careers expanded. Rumors faded. But there was a quiet reunion that fans never saw. Industry insiders revealed that Chang Wook and Nam Hyun met at a private industry workshop. No cameras. No press. Just professionals attending a closed session. When Hyun walked into the room, Wook's eyes widened just slightly. Not dramatically. Not theatrically. Just enough for those who knew him to understand that this was not a neutral moment. They talked for nearly an hour during break. No interruptions. No distance. When they finally parted, Wook watched her leave with an expression that one crew member described as unmistakably gentle. Soulmates, he said. Whether you believe in that stuff or not, that is what they looked like. The reason fans refused to let go because the connection between Chang Wook and Nam Hyun was never about speculation or wishful thinking. It was about the truth captured in fleeting moments. The unguarded laughter. The soft glances. The instinctive closeness. The unspoken familiarity. The effortless harmony that requires no explanation. Fans hold on to them because they see something real. Something rare. Something that belongs not to the screen, but to the quiet spaces behind it. Something that feels like two souls recognizing each other long before the world did. And that is why, even today, fans cannot let go. Because some stories do not end when the cameras stop. Some stories continue in silence. Some stories wait for the right moment to breathe again. And this story, Chang Wook and Nam Hyun's story, feels like one that hasn't reached its final chapter. The story picks up on a day that could have gone completely unnoticed. A routine industry charity event. Quiet. Formal. Nothing dramatic. Nothing unusual. Except for one detail. Both Chang Wook and Nam Hyun were invited. Separately. And neither of them knew the other would be attending. According to an insider present at the event, Chang Wook walked in first, greeting donors, exchanging polite nods, wearing that calm, charismatic smile the public knows so well. He blended perfectly into the room, confident and composed. But then the doors opened again. Nam Hyun stepped in. For a moment, everything else seemed to fade. Not in an exaggerated, romantic way. Not in something scripted or acted. It was the kind of pause that happens when two people who once shared something deeply familiar suddenly meet again after a long time. Chang Wook froze. Not with shock. Not with confusion. But with recognition. As if time folded in on itself. He didn't approach her first. He didn't rush. He simply watched her, carefully, quietly, like someone remembering a warmth he hadn't felt in years. Nam Hyun sensed the gaze before she even saw him. She turned. Their eyes met. And for nearly 2 full seconds, neither of them moved. A staff member standing between them later said the atmosphere shifted instantly. Like something invisible reconnected. Like a silent thread was pulled tight. Even without touching, they looked connected. Almost too connected. Their conversation that no camera recorded eventually, they approached each other. Slowly. Naturally. As if neither had to think about the steps. Their conversation wasn't dramatic or emotional. It was simple. Gentle. The kind of exchange two people have when their history is too layered to summarize in a greeting. But the little things gave everything away. The way Wook leaned in slightly so she didn't have to raise her voice. The way she tucked her hair behind her ear, a habit she always showed around him. The way his expression softened, the kind of softness that never appears in interviews. A volunteer who saw them talking said it felt like watching two puzzle pieces fit together after being apart. Not forced. Not awkward. Just right. And then came the moment no one expected.